I'm Brittney Hazelton, and this is ArkLaTex Artistry, where we explore the arts in our area. Today's guest is a multidisciplinary artist who is very talented with color and has captivated me, for sure. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Chase Horst. I am a multidisciplinary artist from Shreveport, Louisiana. I actually grew up in Stonewall, but I mean, same thing, pretty much just Shreveport.
Pretty much the same
Yeah.
area, right? We've kind of we definitely came to that conclusion. It's like, yeah, you're just from the. I mean, I've heard people be like, I'm from Shreveport, but they were born in Bossier.
Exactly.
I
It's
mean,
just all
it's
all
the
the same
most
thing.
well-known metropolitan area, right? So, well, let's go ahead and start. Let's talk about you for a second. You're from Stonewall.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me about when you started to create.
I have always been creating ever since I was, ever since I could hold a pencil.
Aw.
I just had tons and tons of notebooks that my mom would get for me all the time. Just filled with like original characters that I would design.
Aw.
I would sit there and look at the TV and try to draw, what I was seeing, with no like tracing or any of that. Like I
Yeah.
always try to, or try my best at the time to, draw what I was seeing.
Replicate what you're seeing. Yeah, I
Exactly.
did the same, and I think like that's a mark of a real art set to be a good artist in the future. I feel like 'cause at that time, a lot of kids trace
Mm-hmm.
at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and if you have a kid that's sitting there just trying to draw what they're seeing, you know that kid's gonna have the skill. I feel like in
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
future to definitely stick to it as well, because it takes a
Mm-hmm.
lot of determination,
Oh yeah.
right?
I had
To
like all of my friends. I remember like in elementary school, middle school, even high school. Like everybody was just like, "Draw me, can you draw me?"
oh
And then
yeah,
like elementary school, it was, "Can you draw me a horse? Can you draw my cat? Can you draw?" And it was just,
oh yeah,
it was funny because I like at the time I didn't realize, that I was going to continue to do this for the rest of my life. At the
oh,
time it just felt like it was something that felt natural to me.
it was just right.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just like you felt this. Like, I know for me, I felt just this urge to create,
Mm-hmm.
and my imagination was always running wild. So it's like it was a great outlet
Oh
to
yeah.
just draw it, right?
Exactly.
And you want to, especially for like you want to capture what you're seeing in your head. Oh, that's a good question. I wanted to ask. What kind of art, like when you visualize something that you want to draw, do you visualize it, or do you even see an image in your head? Some artists don't.
I definitely visualize. I
Okay,
see what I want in my head. It doesn't always turn out that way.
it's okay.
But I have a vision in my head, and then I'll use other outlets such as like Pinterest, or like just other artists that I follow
Oh
on
yeah,
social medias, to kind of get reference pictures for like poses
yeah.
or color, like theories, like things that I
Oh
want to
yeah.
use, and I'll just kind of take bits and pieces of everything and put them together, and that's how I come up with like one piece.
Okay, I
Yes.
was curious because there's been a few artists. There's an artist or so I know who I've actually interviewed who don't see images in their head at all.
Yeah,
And
it's
I was like,
crazy.
how's that crazy? Like, but then they're like, I can't believe you even see images in your head. How do you do that?
Yeah.
It's always that conversation. I was curious what but with your color, I had a feeling you probably visualized.
Yeah.
Um, so why do you create?
I create because it is like it's one of the only outlets that I have that just really speaks to me and comes naturally to me, and it really makes me feel like I'm doing something good for myself.
Yeah,
Like a lot of the times, like whenever I first started creating, I was always worried about like, is everybody else gonna like it?
yeah,
And I will say that at first that kind of like messed with my mental health a little bit, because it's like as an artist, like, and I feel like other artists understand this too, is like you don't intentionally want other people's approval, but it's always
yeah.
there. And I don't know, I genuinely got to the point to where like I was like, you know what, I'm gonna create what I want to create and not what other people want me to
Yeah.
create, and it really has helped my mental health like
That's
just like
good.
skyrocket, you know, like in the sense of yeah, like it's I'm doing what I want to do and it makes me feel good about it.
I feel like there's a tremendous way that a lot of artists feel, especially when they're showing their work. You know, some artists don't show their work just for the fact that they're scared of people's approval.
Yes.
And I think that there's a tremendous weight that is relieved from an artist when we stop trying to do what we think other people want to see. And we're not true to ourselves in a lot of ways, you know. We're not true to ourselves if we don't express ourselves, not just create for other people.
Exactly.
Otherwise, here in Louisiana, we'd all just paint swamps and fleur de lis, and that
Yeah.
would be the. I mean, I know no discredit to artists that do those things. They have a passion for those things. But, you know, other artists like yourself, you know, it's good that you let go of that.
Yeah.
You know, because that is a huge weight that
Yeah.
many of us have. I even still struggle in
Mm-hmm.
my work too, and I've known many artists that do. And some artists, though, they'll tell. I've had artists tell me, it's like, yeah, well, you know, I make a lot of money because I paint what other people want, and they don't have any qualms with it. More power to you if you can do that. You
Oh,
know.
yeah. I wish I could, you know, like I've tried doing commissions, like out of my style, and I wish, and everything in me that I could do it, but I just can't.
It's
You
hard.
know,
It's hard to
it is
take
really
someone
hard.
else's idea, you know,
Mhm.
and then yeah, that's definitely you know, commissions are that thing like you gotta have your like boundaries that you set for
Yeah.
people that do take them. You know what I
Oh, yeah.
mean? You'd be like, hey, you know, I get you want me to paint it in the style, but it's gonna be in my style.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be in anyone else's.
It's-
You're
it's-
commissioning me, you're getting my style.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
you want it to be good, you know.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're trying to replicate some other style for somebody, it just doesn't match, right? So you're a multidisciplinary artist.
Yes.
So what mediums and art forms do you explore?
So, of course, I do canvas art. So I do things.
Oh yeah, show us a few.
Like these.
Oh.
So this is pretty much just Sharpie or creative marker and metallic marker. I love adding any metallics
Oh, yeah,
to
she's pretty.
like any of my pieces, you know, because like whenever you first look at it straight on, you don't see the metallics.
Yeah.
And
When the light hits it just
exactly,
right.
it's like a nice little like surprise. I don't know if you can see.
Oh, actually, the camera is picking up
Really?
the metallic.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's I love using marker, ink, any of that on canvas. I think it looks really nice on canvas as well as, you know, like paper. But I usually stick to canvas.
Oh yeah.
Um,
It's more professional
oh,
form, you know.
and it's easier to hang up that way.
Yeah, and framing, you know, with pictures can be a little bit much, you know, matting
Yeah.
and everything, you know. And expensive.
That part, yes.
Uh,
But this one, I really like acrylic as well, like mixing acrylics
Oh, I love
with
that
my
one.
markers to give it, because this is a pearlized acrylic to kind of give it that glow effect
Yeah.
whenever the light hits it too.
So good mixed media
Yes.
going on
I
there.
love mixed media.
I love your vibrant colors.
vibrant colors are my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I've recently got into vibrant colors. I usually try to do, or I used to try to do a lot of realism, black and gray.
Yeah.
And like it kind of took a long time, you know, and I'm still learning, you know, how to do
The color,
realism.
well, your color work is really good. The
you.
thing is, I feel like if you did a lot of black and gray, you already learned value,
Yes.
which is extremely important for an artist to know the value in which they're working. And I would almost suggest learn black and gray before you learn the color, because then you know to use value in your color instead of
Yes.
just focusing on shades and color. You
No,
know,
I
like
do
just-
agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah. Well, oh, that's wonderful. How about your other art forms that you do? you know?
So I also have a flow art prop with me
Okay.
today. So I also do flow art. So these are bugang. I don't know, like they're kind of in the same category as people that use hoops poi, flow stars.
Yeah.
So these are booking or S staffs, and they are pretty much optical illusion
I love that.
um, props. And so they're really fun, and I love spinning with these too.
Oh man.
Yes. These I just picked these up a year ago actually. A year
Really?
ago on Christmas, my girlfriend had bought these for me for the first time, and I haven't put them down since.
I think I have seen similar props like that used in visual,
Mm-hmm.
actual art pieces with like things that spin them and stuff.
Oh,
Have
that's
you?
cool.
Yeah, like if you ever get into something like that, let me know. I'll come to
I
that
need
show
to.
and make
Yes.
sure that we document all of it. But that's really cool.
I know.
So I see you have a few other pieces. Can we go ahead and see
Yeah.
those as well? I really love this one, the exit door.
Yes. So this one is called "Time to Leave."
Time to leave.
Yes. So it's pretty much it's it's you're looking at this really pretty world. Again, this is with marker.
It's almost like a dream world that you're
Yes,
in.
and it's that's kind of what I had in mind
That's
for it as
surreal.
well. Like you're in this really beautiful place,
Yeah.
but the only way to leave is through this darkness.
Oh.
And so that's why and I did a little like exit sign. But yeah, I tried to get it to look like it was like super pretty, but also eerie at the
Hey.
same time.
It kind of has a almost liminal feel, like
Yes,
you're
I
in
love
like
liminal.
a weird liminal
Mhm.
space and like a dream. I
Yes,
love
almost
that.
giving back rooms or something.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, can you tell me what would you say your biggest influences are on your art?
Ooh, I have a lot of influence from local artists, definitely,
Hey.
especially you know, like a lot of my friends that are artists here. Like I love that everybody has their own styles.
Oh yeah.
I love that I love that everybody has such a huge variety that it almost makes me not afraid to show my style too.
Wonderful.
And it's really nice to share such like a artistic space with all of my friends and all of the local artists
Oh
here
yeah.
because I've seen so many different styles and so many different like just cool things and
We have a lot of great creatives, like a massive abundance
oh
of
yeah.
very talented people in Shreveport Bossier
Hmm.
area. And yeah, you're right though. Like there are so many styles, and I love to see people just unabashedly showing their work and not being worried about what the other artists are gonna say, because the other artists are gonna be look at it, be like, oh, that's unique, and it's gonna be
Yeah,
like it's all about our work and how we create, right? Like what that's what makes us stand out.
exactly.
And I think a lot of artists here have kind of discovered that.
Hmm.
Instead of being in like certain smaller areas, you might have artists all trying to replicate similar styles, because they're just trying to sell their work.
Hmm.
But I feel like artists here, we're used to the struggle.
Oh yeah.
We're
Yeah.
used to the struggle, and we're willing to not negotiate our own individuality,
Exactly.
in our art, despite the struggle.
Yes.
I think what we do need though is more appreciation from like people need to recognize like Shreveport has these great talents, but I feel like Shreveport's still trying to overcome its own stigma against itself. There's so
Hmm.
many people that are from here that just self hate
I know.
so bad, and it's like, why would you sit here and hate on somewhere you live so much? You don't try to find any joy in the place that we're at.
Yeah.
If people could get past that, maybe one day people can actually appreciate where they live,
Exactly. Exactly.
you so tell me about your process from start to finish when creating a new piece.
So a lot of the time, I'll just randomly get bursts of like inspiration or just motivation. It comes from everywhere. Anything that I see that catches my eye, my
Yeah.
brain starts to build what I could use, that for,
Yeah.
and like also what could I add to it.
Yeah.
So it could be anything I'm seeing like off of artists that also inspire me on my social medias, like really famous artists or I'll just be, you know, scrolling on Pinterest, or I'll be out in the world and I'll see like, you know, a color scheme that I really like, and or you know, a flower that I'm just like, I really want to put that in one of my pieces, and
Oh,
then, but yeah, my brain will see something and just visualize what could I add to it, you
yeah.
know, to make it my own, and to also, you know, and a lot of the time too, like while I'm also going, you know, through the piece and I'm sketching things out, or like I'm even almost done with the piece, there'll be sometimes where like, you know what, I think I need to add some more,
Oh yeah.
and then I'll just like come up with some other stuff, get some other reference ideas. But yeah, I just, and whenever I start a piece, I don't stop until it's, you know, done, like in a
Uh,
couple of days.
yeah.
So
So you're just working.
yes.
Hopefully you're not like me and just deprive yourself of food and drink for 8 hours because I
Maybe
slip
a
into
little
the.
bit.
Oh, so you're as bad as me. Okay. Yeah, I get my husband will yell at me. He's like, Brittney, did you eat? You've been in here all day. I just got off work. You started in the morning.
Hmm.
What are you doing? And it's like, oh, yeah, food that exists.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
like, oops, I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. We gotta have our little reminders to, But it's hard to break out of that moment, right? When you're focused,
Exactly.
really like focused on something. It's hard
Hmm.
to break out of that creative state. For me, I'm like a little like dazed. I'm like, what?
Oh no, I
you know?
feel completely out of it. If somebody breaks me out of like what I've been staring at for hours at a time, if I'm looking away, I'm just like, whoa, I don't know where I'm at. You know, like,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
pretty much same thing. I get a little irritable. I'm like, what are you like? He'll try to have a full conversation with me. I'm like, what? What are you saying to me?
Yeah. Yes, I 100% get that.
So I understand that in the exhibition that I met you at, this was your first exhibition
It was,
you've
it
ever been
was,
in.
yes.
So what was that experience like for you? And do you plan on doing more exhibitions in the future?
Definitely, I definitely want to do more. The same person that had did that one is doing,
Victoria,
yes,
right?
Victoria.
Pouncy,
Is
yeah.
yes, she's great.
She is. She's actually been on my show before.
Really,
Yeah.
oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Hopefully she watches this one. But yeah, she's doing a ink and marker one that I really
Oh,
want to be a
yeah.
part of. I mean, you know, because I mean that's something I've, you know, already have a lot of pieces for, and I've been in it a lot more recently here,
Yeah.
because you know I usually do acrylic or oil, but marker has just been what I've been focused on
Yeah,
here
I might
recently.
submit in that too. I have a few markers and stuff that
You
I
should
could
definitely
use.
do
Yeah, I've been wanting. I wanted to enter that one, but I was like, I really didn't have the time. But
it.
that's good. I'm glad that you plan on in submitting more and
Yeah. Hmm.
more work. And if you have a good body of work, you should also like submit for an exhibition at like Bosch Arts Council. It's a good starting place.
Oh yeah.
It may take you a few years before you get the time slot, but yeah, it'd be good to see you getting out there more.
I know. I definitely want to. I definitely want to try. You know, I know it's a a slower process,
Yeah,
but definitely trying my best, and like the whole experience from that exhibition. Like it was amazing. Like everybody was super just like supportive, and
yeah,
everybody loved everybody's pieces, and it's so cool seeing like one idea and what everybody else comes up with just from the one idea, and everybody's pieces are completely different,
oh,
and it's just a beautiful thing to see like everybody's minds on canvas,
oh yeah.
so like I definitely I
I love those themed exhibitions.
yes.
They're always like some of my favorite. Agora Borealis had a few, and there was this one where everybody was supposed to paint a purple iris.
Mm-hmm.
And like everybody did all of these weird different ways of doing a purple iris, and
That's so
I
cool.
had painted a big iris with like a snake wrapping around it in the middle of space.
Oh, that
It
is
just
so cool.
I just thought they would, and it was replicated after a snake I had at the time
Mm-hmm.
named Van Gogh, and he was a beautiful pattern on him,
I
of
love
brown.
snakes.
Oh, me too, me too. But I look forward to seeing more of your work and you continuing to emerge in our community with more of your
Yes.
stuff.
Yes, me too.
I'm excited for that. So, if you could give advice to anyone wanting to express themselves creatively in whatever form that may be, um, what would that be?
I would say, kind of like what I said before, definitely don't sell yourself short due to being afraid of other people's opinions. Art is there's a huge, like, there's not even any rules for art. Like,
Yeah.
art is anything that you want it to be. Um,
Expression,
and
right?
exactly, express yourself however you want to. Don't care about what other people say about it. If you do something bad, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Nothing.
You
Just
learn something.
exactly, you learn. Hey, I'm not going to do that again. Let's try again. I used to be really bad about that. I would throw away my pieces that I was like, oh no, nobody could ever see this. They would think I'm like a terrible artist.
I've torn up a few canvas things despite my
yes.
husband's not liking it out of anger. Like, this is horrible. Trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I also would say, it does take time. I feel like I've been doing art since I was a kid, and I just now feel like I found my style. Some
Okay.
people find their styles as soon as they start.
Yeah.
But it's all like a personal experience. It's all different, and
It's a growth that
yeah.
we all, some it's just quicker for, but,
exactly.
congratulations on that. It takes a while to discover that for yourself, but I'm glad you feel that. That's a great moment when you realize, like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
this is me,
Yeah.
No,
I was super happy whenever I was like, whenever I actually felt that for the first time, I was like, yes.
that makes me very happy for you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you would like to say to our viewers? You could also share your social media with us too, if you want to share like your professional pages. If you have.
Yes. So I do have an art page I just created because I was posting everything to my personal. But I figured since I am trying to get out there a little bit more, I would try to make it like a professional
Okay.
art page. So it is by CH Art on Instagram. So
Okay.
it's by.ch.art.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll make sure to link that into your story.
Yes.
Was there anything else you'd like to say?
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for stopping in and talking to me. I'm glad that we
Yes.
got the chance to do that.
Well, thank you
And
for having me.
yeah, and I had to collect one of your pieces, and that piece I'm definitely going to share in the article. I immediately was captivated by it. I immediately wanted it. And I was like going up to it, I was like, how much is it? Please
Yeah, I
don't
know.
be too much. And I thank you so much for painting that piece and letting me find it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for loving it just as much as I did.
Oh, well, you take care, Chase, and maybe we'll talk again sometime.
Yes, you too.
Okay.